Well, thank you, Hugh. Tonight on TalkSport, the spotlight falls on the South Coast, and for once, not even all about the football. Bournemouth, the main story, has drifted from relegation scrap to respectable mid-table, and now what? Europe? And what next for their leading man? Can they keep him if Europe is not in the script? Andoni Iraola has assembled a team on a 10-game unbeaten run, drawing more often than they'd like, but taking points off everyone. Opposite him this evening in a starring role, Michael Carrick, who has quietly built a Manchester United side that suddenly looks like a Champions League team again. The atmosphere before the game absolutely terrific. The noise crazy, but a lot of that comes from this ridiculously loud PA, which is blowing everybody's ears off here. I'm not sure quite how much you can hear of us, but I will tell you that Manchester United have walked out away to our right hand side, all in white today with purple trim. And when Michael Carrick walked in, the mood was pretty low. Third place fell a long way off, but that is where they are now, and with more points and goals already than the whole of last season, and crucially, more points than anyone else over the last 10 games. Somewhere above all of this, Michael B. Jordan, a bit of Hollywood, minority owner of Bournemouth, probably the first Oscar winner to watch his team try to derail Manchester United's top four charge. Tonight, it's the Champions League chase against the Oscar winners club, and for both, the script is far from finished. Well, Alan, as opening acts go, that felt pretty box office from the PA, didn't it?
Well, your introduction of the
I think the PA man.
It's really loud. I mean, you know, this stadium is only small, only holds just under 12,000, but it does make a lot of noise. Quite intimidating, but Manchester United are used to that. They should have no problem. And I expect them to win tonight.
Referee Stuart Atwell, by the way, 88 yellow cards in the league this season, the second most behind Anthony Taylor. He's also awarded the second most penalties as well. We've got another live batch of commentaries from the Premier League this weekend. Brighton, Liverpool tomorrow 12:30, Leeds, Brentford at 8 o'clock, the time we're Derby midday Sunday, and the first showpiece final of the season, Sunday afternoon. Our coverage of the Carabao Cup final is on air from 2:30 with Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce, Darren Bent and Jim Proudfoot. Arsenal against Manchester City. But before all that, we kick off the weekend in style. Friday night, under the lights, at the Vitality Stadium. It's Bournemouth against Manchester United, and it's only on TalkSport. Manchester United all in white with purple flecks attacking the goal to our left, and it's the black and red stripes, black shorts, black socks of Bournemouth attacking the goal away to our right. It's Manchester United who get us underway. They've got Senna Lomans in goal. He's got the ball at his feet in his green goalkeeping uniform on the edge of his own penalty area. In front of him, Dalot, Euro, Maguire and Shaw. Casemiro and Mainu, the two holders in midfield, with Ahmad, Fernandez and Cunha and Mbeumo up top. For the home team, Petrovic is their goalkeeper, Jimenez, Hill, Senesi and Truffert, Scott and Christie in midfield, Tavernier, Adley, Ryan and Evan Nilsson leads the line. Alan Pardew, the man who took West Ham United and Crystal Palace to the FA Cup final, is alongside us at the Vitality Stadium tonight. Well, hell of a racket, and these two teams like to make some noise. And here's Evan Nilsson down the right-hand side looking to do that, and he manages to play the ball against the shins of Lenny Yoro and win the first corner of the game.
I have to say, that's an impressive opening, because Bournemouth have gone almost man-to-man and pressed them. And United played some terrific passing, actually, under massive pressure. And in the end, unfortunately for them, it's kind of worked its way down the Bournemouth end and they've got a corner. But, you know, this is the Premier League. That's how technical the game is. That's a tremendous start by both teams.
Here is the corner on the near side to be taken by Marcus Tavernier, who places the ball on the quadrant, then looks up to see five red and black shirts just circulating on the edge of the 6-yard box. Christie just pulling out of the areas. The ball goes in towards Evan Nilsson, who tried something spectacular. It was away by Casemiro, and then Manchester United in transition trying to burst forward at pace with Ahmad. He plays it back to Bruno Fernandes. Infield it goes to Diego Dallo, and then Casemiro just short of the centre circle, dabs it to the right. Fernandes helps it on, and now here's Dallo again, trying to get over halfway. It's taken off his toes by Amin Adli, and then Christie rescues possession for Bournemouth, and it goes back to Truffaut in the left full-back position. 0-0.
Yeah, well, I just hope this game carries on like this, because we're going to see goals. Because if both teams are going to be fully committed like this to the press, then there will be some gaps.
Here is Emma Nielsen looking to try and take advantage of a gap, but all the hands went up as the ball went through, and that meant the offside flag quickly followed. Bournemouth starting the night in 10th, 10 points off the top 4 and 12 clear of the relegation zone. Safe, solid, but with a thirst for something spectacular. Manchester United come here in 3rd place, 54 points from 30 games, and since October, Alan, they've lost just 3 of their last 24 league games, and only Arsenal have lost fewer in that time.
I mean, it's been, as I say, at the start of the season, we was all wondering whether this Manchester United team was going to have to be dismantled and the squad kind of evolved. But, in kind of the crisis, they've found a solution, particularly with Michael coming in, the change of the shape back to a sort of standard Man United looking team. The kind of plays a lot simpler, and they've benefited and they've been terrific. And in particular, obviously, Fernandes, who's, excelled in this role as number 10.
It certainly has so far. 3 minutes gone. This is TalkSport on a Friday night, and Alex Scott of Bournemouth has the ball at his feet, his shirt untucked to the waist and his hair pinned back by an Alice band. He guides it back to Senesi, who sends it upfield. Before it can reach Amin Adli, it's nudged away by Dallo, and now Ahmad trying to get away from Truffaut, pokes the ball out to the far side, and Bumo takes it on now and runs infield from the right touchline, midway inside the Bournemouth half of the field, back into Kobe Mainu, and then all the way out to the right side where Mainu exchanges passes with Dallo before moving the ball into the heart of the defence, and Maguire, who slides the ball forward, gets a little bit of a lucky ricochet, takes it through to Fernandes, his successor as Manchester United captain, and then the captain gets down the left and produces a cross into the box, which is a brilliant one. There was no one there to finish it off. Dallo keeps it alive. Here's Ahmad, edge of the area, trying to get some space to get the shot away. He does that, it's saved, it comes back out towards Casemiro, who can't convert it, and Petrovic has made a brilliant save. And now the counter-attack is on, and Bournemouth are scuffling upfield at pace. It's played into Ryan, inside the penalty area. His right-footed shot, he's dragged wide after a brilliant pass from Tavernier, and it's wide of the upright. And Bournemouth, who just moments ago were making a save to prevent Ahmad from putting Manchester United in the lead at one end, had a devastating counter-attack at the other, which Ryan really should have done better with his finish on.
It's very difficult to sum all that up, and there's so much going on. Petrovic had, a brilliant save. It was some great work. The attacking from Diallo was tremendous. Great strike. Anyway, they broke, and they'd almost scored at the other end. Ryan Transom, terrific pace against Jaw. We're never going to match him, and unfortunately he just skewed his shot wide.
Good start to the game down the south coast. We should have a bit of Friday night entertainment. The last 5 games between these clubs have produced 20 goals, 13 for Bournemouth and 7 for United, an average of 4 per match. We had 8 when we saw them at the back end of last year. It was a terrific game.
Yeah, maybe it's set up because of this, both teams are sort of on the front foot, and we've got those holes again, so we get Bournemouth on the attack.
Here's Tavernier taking the ball up towards the middle point of the Manchester United half. He sends it wide to Ryan into Scott, and then Scott across the back foot to James Hill, who one or two people thought after his performances recently might have meant that he got a call up to the England squad.
Yeah, well, there's lots of players like that who have felt a little bit kind of aggrieved today, I should think, seeing that squad come out.
Yes, especially bearing in mind that there was 35 names on that list.
Yeah.
Here is Senesi, infield to Christie round the corner, and the Scotsman just flicking that a little bit too heavily round into the inside left channel, and it bounces out and away for a goal kick away to our right hand side. Bournemouth do like a fast start. They have scored 7 goals in the first 15 minutes of matches. Only West Ham and Manchester City have scored more. Manchester United often slow out of the traps actually. 33 of their 54 goals this season in the Premier League have come after half time.
Yeah, when you look at their clean sheets, they're like 16th in the Premier League. They don't get many, and I think that is due to that sometimes that slow start. But Bournemouth really are in their faces tonight, so it's going to make for a terrific. If we can just keep this at this pace, it'll be a brilliant night's action.
Maguire getting the ball away from danger, keeping it in field, and was hoping actually that Fernandes had made the run, and Maguire just pointing out to Fernandes that the idea was that he sprinted on to that, but Fernandes sort of gave it up because I think he felt it was going to go out of play. It didn't, and it goes back to Senesi at the heart of the Bournemouth defence. Up he plays the ball in towards Amin Adli, cleared away by Dalot. Chasing down to try and close down the Bournemouth defence was Fernandes. It goes up to Evanilson. His flick is lacking in conviction, and it runs through to Harry Maguire at the heart of the Manchester United back line. And it's 0-0 on TalkSport. Here's Alan Pardew.
Yeah, sometimes you can look at Harry and a lot of things you could criticise him about, but he plays this left channel. His left foot's great left foot, his right foot is obviously very good as well, so his passing is terrific, and that was a great pass in the channel, just Fernandes just didn't read it. But United just beginning to slow Bournemouth down a little bit with their quality.
Sorba Thomas has scored for Stoke City away at Preston tonight, live on TalkSport 2. Stoke lead by a goal to 0 away at Deepdale. Here it's 0-0. 8 minutes played. TalkSport Friday night. Here is Cunha going down the left-hand side, trying to take on Jimenez, getting the cross in, but was put off enough by Jimenez that he sort of shanked the ball behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. But he's been in lively form as well, hasn't he, Matthias Cunha, over the last few weeks and months. Summer 2025 acquisition who's quickly become a fan favourite.
Yeah, he's just got that grace about him when he plays, isn't he? He's got that lovely mobility with the ball. Whether it's in his technical skills or just the way he kind of reads the game. But that forward line looks so impressive now. And that's why I think just under 500 shots a goal, they're the best in the Premier League at getting shots off.
Casemiro winning the ball just before the halfway line. I'm not entirely sure how that was a foul, and nor is Michael Carrick and nor is Casemiro, but Stuart Atwell has blown the whistle. The ball has been sent back to Senesi. He moves over the halfway line, plays it down the left. Adli makes some space for Tavernier, who pops the ball up ready to volley it. Casemiro this time makes a tackle which looked like more of a foul. The referee said play on. Ahmad forward, and Bournemouth has made a dart out to the right-hand side. Fernandes is spinning in behind. The goalkeeper Petrovic has given the ball away with a poor first-time clearance, and then Cunha has got the return from Fernandes, and they've started towards the edge of the penalty area here, trying to take advantage of Bournemouth being misshapen. Down by the byline, the ball is collected by Luke Shaw. He travels back into the edge of the penalty area before looking for Mainu. It was a poor ball by him, and Ryan pinched it.
Yeah, Petrovic in trying to clear it, just kicked it straight out to Cunha, who actually looked as if he was going to have a shot from sort of the halfway line, and decided it probably wasn't going to happen. So made a good pass, and it was all a good move from Cunha and Fernandes. But Mbeumo in the team, the reason he's playing, I think, is because of his mobility. He ends up on the left channel, he ends up on the right channel, he's everywhere, and it gives them great options.
Here's Ahmad into Cunha, back to Cunha again on the edge of the area, trying to get into the box. He dances to the left, gets the shot away. That's a good save up to his right by Petrovic. That was sneaking in at the near post, and the way they danced to the edge of the area there, exchanged passes on the edge of the box, got it back to Cunha, who played the ball into the feet of Fernandes and got it back again. He just weaved through a very tight gap, went on the outside and made Petrovic produce a save.
He's made two great saves already, the Bournemouth keeper, but that's Cunha. He's very, very best there in a very tight area. He can manoeuvre the ball, gets it onto his left side. Good strike, good save.
Here is the corner to be taken by Fernandes, and set pieces have been profitable for Manchester United in the last few months. And the hand is in the air from Fernandes. Maguire is up there, so is Casemiro. It's a low one which is scooting across the ground. Evanilson kicks it clear, and Mbeumo decides eventually to get it back to his goalkeeper. That was a bit unconventional.
Yeah, I think it was, sometimes when you set up a corner, you set it up as if you're going to put it in big, and then you manoeuvre it in that near post area for a runner, but there was no runner on that occasion, unfortunately, for Man United.
Manchester United, who have had quite a transformation in the set piece department. 17 league goals from set play, second only to Arsenal. Already they've managed more in this season than the entirety of last, and they've scored from set pieces more goals this campaign than any other since they won the title in 2012-13. They started to maximise them again.
Yeah, and sometimes, on set plays, you need the dominant, somebody who can get first contact. And when you look at Arsenal, you've got Gabriel. When you look in Maguire in the team, you've got Maguire. It does make a massive difference when you've got that real prominent person in the box who can just win that first contact. It's very important.
And that works the other way. If you haven't got that in your box as a defender, and one of the reasons that Bournemouth have had an issue with those, conceded 16 goals from set pieces, which is the joint most in the league, is because they don't have that presence.
That's absolutely correct. And actually, in the first corner, Man United, I see they leave Harry Maguire spare, so he hasn't actually got anyone designated to mark. He's just going to go and attack the ball. And I used to do that with Andy Carroll at Newcastle. It works very well.
Here is Diogo Dalot in the right full-back position. Back to Mainu. Mainu gets it to Dalot. It's very tight over on that far side as Manchester United try to get out under pressure from Bournemouth. Mainu skips past one challenge. He's fouled by the second. And that's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, just a yard in from the touchline. Chris Evans on Virgin Radio has got some great guests, by the way, on that morning show. And TFI Unplugged has all the best bits. They've done this brilliant thing. When I was a kid, I used to love watching TFI Friday with Chris Evans on a Friday night. They brought it back as an unplugged YouTube
I used to love it as a 4-year-old.
Did you? Chris has been in conversation with James Corden, the multi-talented and award-winning actor James Norton, and there's been great live music on that and some of the most successful bands in the world. And you can watch it all on TFI Unplugged on Virgin Radio's YouTube channel.
Is he the greatest DJ we ever had?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You call him a DJ?
Well, he was a presenter. He's a proper radio legend.
Yeah, he is a legend.
Here is Fernandes. Infield up towards Christie, but it's cut out and given away to Mainu, and then picked up by Cunha and then sent out wide towards Diogo Dalot. A little touch into his compatriot Fernandes, and then they move quickly, Manchester United, over the halfway line. Ahmad leading the charge now from the right side, takes on True Fair, tries to bamboozle him, goes on the outside, then ends up running around in a circle, keeps hold of the ball, and eventually feeds it back to Diogo Dalot. Dalot being challenged by True Fair, challenged by him. The Frenchman nudging the ball away, and it comes out towards the halfway line where it's collected by Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen United under Michael, and they move in the ball so much better, and their technical confidence levels are so much higher than they were.
Cunha trying to outpace Jimenez, gets into the penalty area, shrugs him off, pulls it across the 6-yard box, it bounced up and hit Mbeumo in the face, and it was cleared away by James Hill. Good Manchester United break, led by Cunha. That was superb dancing feet and great strength from Matthias Cunha.
Yeah, he looks like he got the beat in the right back, and he knows it as well. You can just tell by the strut in his walk. He's walking like John Wayne.
Here is Mbeumo edge of the penalty area, feeding it to Fernandes. His right-footed shot is spilt actually by Petrovic. He got down quickly. It wasn't the most fierce of contacts from Bruno Fernandes, but he had to get down sharply and push the ball away. He did that, Petrovic, and he gobbled it up at the second attempt.
Yeah, when I'm looking at Bournemouth now, Pazzarola, I'll be fairly pleased though. I mean, obviously United look slick, they look really confident. So you're up against it tonight, but they've had a fast start, and the importance now for the manager is try to keep this Bournemouth team in the same kind of psyche and not to drop off. And the tempo's just gone out of their pressing a little bit, which is what happens when you come up against a team as technically gifted as Manchester United.
We were talking actually on the show this morning between 10 and 1 with Cookie and Gabby Bonlaher about Bournemouth and how they start seasons so well, and then they go through these spells around about this time of year because they exert so much energy under Iraola. It gets to sort of the March time, and they can sometimes just slow down a little bit and put together a run of results that sort of look as if they're underwhelming. And although they've 10 unbeaten, they've drawn a lot of games recently, 4 in a row.
But to go 10 games in the Premier League and not get beat when you're at Bournemouth is a massive achievement. So the draws is okay as long as you can win now and again. I think that's tremendous stats. But as you say, whether they can keep it out, we'll see.
Here's Hill, long throw in from the right-hand side in towards the near post. Maguire taking charge again. Good header away by him. And then Cunha sends it out towards the far side. And Manchester United get hold of that with Ahmad. It was a beautiful ball from Cunha, taken down by Ahmad. Now who gallops forward, feeds Diogo Dalot. First time ball into Fernandes, whose shot goes past the goalkeeper but also past the post. And goes out, I think, with a little touch for a corner kick over on the far side.
Yeah, it looks like just got a little deflection for a corner.
Alfie Devine has scored the equaliser for Preston North End in the Championship over on TalkSport 2. Download our app. You can flick between the two stations if that's your bag tonight. You're listening to TalkSport. It's Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Bournemouth versus Manchester United live right now. Search Now Sports. 17 gone. The corner coming in from the right-hand side, aiming towards Dalot, headed away by Evan Nielsen. And it's back as far as Mbeumo finds Shaw, who's just short of the centre circle. It goes wide to the right, and then Fernandes with a loose pass has it intercepted, and Bournemouth threatened now on the counter-attack. It's up towards Amin Adli. Straight away Shaw is behind him, pinches it back, and Manchester United have possession again.
Yeah, that first corner, and your big striker, and Wilson comes and clears it. That's what you need, your big striker to do. That's such an important role in set plays to come back and do the job, and he did it terrific there.
Cleared away by Senna Lomans. By the way, quietly going about his business, Senna Lomans in the Manchester United goal and doing so very well. Out towards the near touchline the ball goes. Cunha anticipated, but it was just at the wrong angle for him and runs out of play and away for a throw into Bournemouth away to our right-hand side. Bournemouth have lost only 2 league games at home all season, to Arsenal and to Everton. They are very hard to shift here. Manchester United know they've got a job on their hands tonight to continue this brilliant run that they're on under Michael Carrick. Shaw with a header down. Maguire juggling with it and gets it back to his goalkeeper. I think he'll be delighted to be back in the England squad, Harry Maguire. He loves playing for England, and I think largely he has never let England down. And speak to the travelling supporters, and they're a big fan of Maguire as Tavernier moves down the right-hand side, getting to the byline before producing a cross which is easily cleared. It goes back into the area, a little push by Evan Nielsen, generates a foul for Manchester United. Harry Maguire, who is...
He's good acting too.
Well, I mean, we're at Bournemouth. There's an Oscar winner who part owns the place. He might as well get into the spirit of things. He jumped up a little bit, didn't he, after a little push in the back.
And collapse.
Sometimes you have to draw attention to these things.
Listen, as a centre-half, you need all the tricks of the trade, and that was one of the tricks. But as you're looking at Michael Carrick, he looks like he's going to choir practice this evening. With his hands behind his back, looks very calm and relaxed, doesn't he?
He always does, doesn't he? He's very animated, I'm sure, inside, but on the exterior...
No, I've managed him, I can tell you, there's not really... much animation going. I've seen him smash to pieces in the Championship in midfield and just get up and go with it.
I just wonder whether internally he's sort of, bubbling, but no, just externally he's just as calm as he is internally.
He's just a cool character.
He is, and a very polite person as well. He's down there watching on with his hands behind his back as his team construct a corner from this near side, and it was Senesi as Mbeumo tried to get the cross in that put the ball behind in front of the Steve Fletcher stand away to our left.
Steve Fletcher,
remember him?
Wow,
he was a big burly character. Here is the corner from Fernandes. It's a deep one. The goalkeeper punches it, comes back, and is there a hand there inside the penalty area as Maguire volleyed it. Jimenez's hand went up. There's Cunha with a curling shot, which is headed away by one of the defenders, and it goes out. It was James Hill headed it away, and it goes out for a throw-in perpendicular with a 6-yard box, deep down by the corner flag. And Manchester United are asking for a penalty for a handball, but the referee wants to just check on the prognosis of James Hill.
Yeah, interesting to see if we're going to VAR. Doesn't look like we are. But they've had 3 good chances, haven't they, Man United already?
They have, but it remains 0-0. Long throw incoming from Diogo Dalot from this near touchline. He's taken a big run up and then he's launched the ball catapult style in towards the near post. Flicked away by Evan Nielsen. Back in by Kobe Mainu, but a push by Harry Maguire has been punished, and as a result there's a free kick given, which Bournemouth rush a little bit. Manchester United deal with it, and they have possession again. They've dominated possession ever since a fast start from Bournemouth.
Yeah. interesting that your right back comes over to the left-hand channel to take a throw-in. You know, it's a long way back positionally-wise for the right back. It's strange.
Ryan picks the ball up 25 yards from goal, shoots towards the near post, and it's saved down low by Senna Lomans, who did brilliantly to push that snapshot from the Brazilian round the post. It broke down with Fernandes, it rebounded to Ryan. He only had one thing on his mind, and boy did he catch that.
And he got a little bit of swaz on it, didn't he, as well? It's just curling right at the end. But like Roberto Carlos-like, fantastic hit. Good save too.
Really good save. Down low by Senna Lomans, the Manchester United goalkeeper. Seriously impressed whenever he has been called upon, and that was a smart save down to his left-hand side. Corner kick for Bournemouth, away to our right. Only scored 3 goals from corners all season, Bournemouth, with Tavernier about to take it left-footed, deeper this time towards the far post, headed away again by that man Maguire. The ball drops inside the D, and it's recycled by Christie, sent forward by Trufer, but that will bounce kindly through to Senna Lomans in the Manchester United goal. It's 22 minutes now up on the clock, and it's still Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 0 on TalkSport.
It's just been such a always good away.
And it's out to the left-hand side again, and Tavernier is low ball into Evan Nilsson. Was he pushed in the back by Harry Maguire, or did he just do enough to edge him away from it? The referee says play on. It goes through the 18-yard box and out the other side as Bournemouth come forward again and put Manchester United under a bit of pressure. Ryan with a lovely delivery in towards that near post, and Tavernier miscues his shot. It goes wide of the left-hand upright.
Well, I don't know how many minutes we've played, but we've had 4 or 5 very 22 minutes. We've had 4 or 5 excellent chances. 3 or 4 from Man United and 1 at least from Bournemouth. There was a great hit from Ryan, but that was a terrific chance. He went on the outside of Shaw, and he looks like he's got the beat in the Shaw down here on this side, this young Brazilian. So it'll be interesting to see how he copes.
Well, he's just been called up to the Brazilian national team, hasn't he, Ryan?
Shaw's just been left out.
And Shaw's just been left out.
They're in completely different places.
And interestingly, if he had been called up today, we would have been talking about the fact that those two may meet again in a World Cup quarter-final in Miami, where England is scheduled to play Brazil later in the tournament, although sometimes it doesn't really work out how you think it's going to. It is a big tournament with 48 teams, and there will be a lot of twists and turns. Everything, of course, will be live on TalkSport. 24 minutes gone, 0-0 the score, and a throw in from Manchester United's Diego Dallo. This time from the right hand side, he's going to launch this into the box. Interestingly, he's taken on the sort of Michael Kayode role. He does both sides as well at Brentford. Here is the ball in towards the near post. It's headed away by Senesi, jumped on the back of Harry Maguire. The referee decided not to do anything about that, and Trufer then takes it away from a congested penalty area and up towards halfway. Mainu rises, dabs it down to Ahmad. He then sends a high ball back towards his goalkeeper, who deals with that rather well, and then he left-footed drives it down the field, looking for Mbeumo, away by James Hill into Scott, and then it goes back to the blonde hair of Trufer, and that's a poor ball by him, and he hasn't had a great start to the game. Jimenez on this right-hand side, he struggled a little bit with Cunha, and he struggled a bit with his passing, and Cunha's got behind him again. Ball into the box, comes through to Ahmad, one touch, hits it, blocked brilliantly by Adrien Trufer. It's a super block by the Frenchman. Ahmad looked certain to score. It came across the face of the goal. He flicked it up with one touch, smashed it on the volley with the second, but Trufer was there to block it.
Cunha's, he's got Jimenez on toast down that side. He's hit a great cross in. He's come to Ahmed, but the block was out. That's standing. It saved a certain goal. But Trafford has been like the big star down here, isn't he, this year? Been terrific.
Yeah, really good. They haven't missed Kirkes, I don't think. No. Because he's been such a great acquisition. Ball in towards the near post, headed away, comes back out to Mbeumo, shoots from the edge of the area, didn't get clean contact on that, and it goes into a clutch of bodies before being cleared to the halfway line. Back by Mbeumo, in behind, hoping that Ahmad had stayed in there. He hadn't. It goes behind and away, and it's out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. This is TalkSport, and it's currently Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 0. The latest odds are available at Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Bournemouth to win the game at 9-4, Manchester United to win is 11-10. The draw is available at 23-10. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, begambleaware.org. Here's Evan Nilsson trying to lay it into Ryan's path. On this occasion, Ryan just checked his run, and Shaw was there to block it and able to get it clear. Cunha in the left full-back position, squeezes the ball into Ahmad, and then Kobe Mainu just shields it on this near touchline, but then loses it to Jimenez. Almost worked his way to Tavernier, but Cunha was sharper and faster, and he's played the ball out towards his left-hand side now, and it was only the outstretched right boot of Hill that got the tiniest flick to take it away from Ahmad that stopped the Manchester United counter-attack.
You know, everyone admires Cunha, those technical ability he has with his feet, but he's quick too, and he was quickly on into the challenge there and got a great little breakaway for Man United. Unfortunately, the pass just got a deflection out.
Quick in speed, but also quick of thought as well, wasn't
Correct,
he?
yeah.
He seized on the opportunity.
Been outstanding so far in the start of this game.
Sure, forward towards the aforementioned Brazilian, who's down the left side now of the Manchester United attacking half of the field. Dallo is trying to shoot from distance, and he's actually hit the front of the roof. It was that bad, the shot.
Well, the sponsors will be very happy because he hit Vitality right in the middle there.
It did.
Yeah, so they'll be pleased.
It clattered the advertising hoarding at the top of the stand. You couldn't get further away from. That's like 4 goal widths high.
Dollar made his mind up way before the ball come to him that he was going to shoot. So
Tavernier pulled back by Casemiro, and he gets a yellow card for breaking up a promising attack. Casemiro in the book for Manchester United.
Actually, the Bournemouth midfield three is actually quite a nice combination. You've got Tavernier, Christie and Scott. Scott holds and feeds things. Christie can create, and Tavernier's got that fantastic shot in both feet and can get goals. They're a nice combination in there.
Well constructed team, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
Here is the free kick given away by Casemiro on halfway, which Scott will take. Crossfield from right to left towards the edge of the area, headed away by Dallo. Drops for Christie. Christie nudges it back to Jimenez, and then it's all the way back to Alex Scott, who's on halfway, clipping it forward now, looking for Evanilson. He gets up high, it's headed away by Harry Maguire eventually, drops towards Tavernier, who's waiting for it to come down, and Burma wasn't. He came back to help out his team and flick it further clear. Andoni Iraola never lost to Manchester United as the Bournemouth head coach. 5 Premier League meetings so far, 1-2, drawn 3. There have been 13 goals scored in those games, and they're usually full of entertainment. We're awaiting the first strike of tonight's match. 29 on the clock, goalless down in the Sunshine Coast, and here is Alex Jimenez on to Ryan, who takes the ball infield away from Shaw, back to Jimenez again, and then Scott once more glides it back to the heart of his defence, and James Hill into Christie, who's coming back from a long-term injury, plays a pass which invites the pressure but also baited Mbeumo and left a bit of a gap for Bournemouth to come forward. Ryan bundles forward, comes back and hits him on the arm, and it was accidental handball that. I'm not necessarily sure the referee needed to intervene, did he, Alan?
Well, he spoiled her. Nice situation there for no particular reason. It's come flying off his boot onto his hand, and he's given a handball. He had no chance getting his hand out of the way.
I'm not even sure it hit his hand. It hit his chest, didn't it?
Chest probably, yeah. And then we see the replay. It's always easier to when you see the replay, though, Sam.
I mean, I think it's probably easier as well if you're standing 5 yards alongside it, as Stuart Atwell was.
Yeah.
Not that I'm criticising.
No, obviously not.
I would never do that. It's a hard job.
You're a great defender of referees.
I am, as you well know.
You are.
And I do love the handball law.
The handball scenario.
Which is, I know you're a bugbear of yours. I was going to say we've had many a debate about it, but that makes us sound like very boring men, doesn't it? Ball up towards Fernandez. He's dropping out of the sky. He didn't quite get hold of it, and out comes Jordan Petrovic and manages to clear for the home team Bournemouth. Jimenez switches from one side to the other. It's a poor ball. It goes straight out of play.
Yeah, Jimenez is having one of those games where, as a manager, you kind of have to give him a look of support. That's the only thing you can do, or drag him. There's one or the other. And this time of the game, 29 minutes in, there will be a look of support.
Yes.
He's had a bit of a tricky start.
He has had a tricky start. But as it is, there's no damage done up until this point. We're still awaiting the first goal of the game. We've had a couple of opportunities for Manchester United, and one big save from Senna Lomans at the other end as well. But it's still goalless on the south coast. Here is Petrovic, a little bit heavy with his pass out to Senesi. They managed to work it wide to Trufer, then tight to the touchline. It's up to Amin Adli. It's excellent football from Bournemouth now as they move forward with Christie at pace, and then his ball into the box is over elevated, and it's going to squeeze out for a goal kick away to our right hand side. And again, good up until the final delivery, and then it just broke down.
Yeah, Bournemouth done what Man United done for most of the game. They played through the lines terrific there and got themselves in a great situation with one of their best players, Christie, in possession. And unfortunately for him, he just overcooked the cross, but a nice bit of play from Bournemouth.
You're listening to Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. This is TalkSport. Tomorrow we've got live commentary from Brighton against Liverpool and Leeds against Brentford in the Premier League. On Sunday, it's Newcastle United against Sunderland, and then the Carabao Cup final.
What a day that is.
You like that?
That is a fixture list Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is. And of course, we'll keep you in touch with Nottingham Forest's trip to Tottenham as well, which is a big one.
Yeah.
No Vicario for Tottenham Hotspur. He's got to have surgery on a hernia. He's probably going to miss the rest of the season. Is that after the international break?
I did hear he might be available for
play Sunday and then international break. He's going to have it done.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a concern though, isn't it?
I would suggest so. Yes. For the Champions League this week.
Tavernier out to the right hand side. Ryan back to Scott. Scott infield to Tavernier once again as Bournemouth try to come forward. Remember, Adam Catterall will open the sports bar straight after the game as well for you to have your say if you're a Manchester United or a Bournemouth fan or someone who wants to react to the England squad tonight. 037172233 Had loads of calls and text messages today when we were on between 10 and 1 about that. It was fascinating actually to get people's views, and Thomas Tuchel I thought spoke brilliantly. Here's Evan Nilsson chasing down the left hand side. Harry Maguire is in that squad, dabs it away, and it's out of play and away for a throw-in down the left hand side. 0-0.
Yeah, and we're at that stage of a normal Premier League game where we've got a long throw situation. The clock will be running, and here we go again. It will take a long time to set up. The thrower will throw the ball and then run over the line, which I think is a foul throw.
Absolutely.
I don't understand why the referees are not picking up on that, but here we go again.
I've noticed that as well, Alan. It's a bit of a bugbear of mine, actually. Here he is, James Hill, doing exactly that, in towards the near post. Norman's got a little bit lost. He's headed away by Maguire, though, gets him out of a tight spot, and then Mbeumo gets it further clear. He only finds Jimenez.
I have to come in there because
given away because Trufer has had the ball nabbed off his toes by Ahmad, and then Fernandez has found Cunha, and Ahmad is running down the right hand side. Has he stayed onside here? He's miscontrolled the ball, so it doesn't matter, and he's taken it wide towards the right. Still Manchester United come forward. Diego Dallo a little bit short with his attempt to get the ball in. Adley closed him down, but Fernandez has managed to cross it, and then Jimenez away, and then collected on halfway by Kobbie Mainoo. Bit of a missed opportunity for Manchester United, who continue to move forward with Cunha down the right hand side, gets into the penalty area, holds uphill, sets it back for Casemiro, who finds Fernandez, who strikes it. It hits the back of the defender, and it comes back out towards the near side once again. Still 0-0. Manchester United probing once more. Kobbie Mainoo to the edge of the area, onto Casemiro, bit of space for Ahmad. On the overlap is Dallo, gets to the bar line, chips across the back post. Fernandez is there. Oh, what a save by the flying Petrovic, who made himself as big as an octopus and manages to kick it clear with one of his legs as the ball comes firing at him from Bruno Fernandes.
Well, Man United created 3-4 situations there and should be in front.
Here's Trufer at the other end with a cross into the box, which hits the arms of Casemiro but rebounds kindly. It comes off of Ahmad as the second cross comes in from Adley, and it goes out for a corner over on the far side. It's still 0-0 somehow.
And the goal has definitely kept them in them. I mean, there's 3 opportunities that they could have scored, Man United, and this was probably the best one. He saved it falling back into the goal. It looks like he's just hit his feet. Been slightly fortunate. All day it looks a goal, but he's done well. He stuck his leg out, kept it out of the goal. That's his job.
0-0. Jordan Petrovic, who had a difficult first half of the season, but has had a much better second half of the season. He's made the second most saves in the Premier League this campaign behind Martin Dubravka, although by the end of the night he might be getting up there. Here's the cross in towards the near post, headed away by Mbeumo. Out only as far as Trufer. He's going to strike it left-footed, and he caught it really well, but it was straight down the throat of Senna Lomans.
Yeah, it was a great strike there. He took his time, he kind of set himself and he hit it left-footed. But unfortunately for him, he ended up in the middle of the goal and Lane's had an easy save.
0-0. Talk sport. Both teams have had opportunities. The 35 minutes of action that we've seen on the South Coast tonight. A lovely little twirl around the ball, over the top of the ball by Alex Scott. And the Yorkshire throw-in on this near touchline for Bournemouth.
I have to say, after 36 minutes, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It might be 0-0. It's been an absolute terrific game. And just a surprise we haven't got a goal or two.
Yep. It's been richly entertaining fare here at the Vitality Stadium in Bournemouth, as often it is when we come here, to be honest with you. It's a great place actually to watch the football, mainly because, and I know they're going to extend the capacity away to our right hand side. There's going to be a big new stand, and we're going to get all sorts of incremental improvements to the stadium, but the fact that we are so close to the action, as are the supporters, it makes it a brilliant event. Here is Evan Nilsson picking the ball up and poking it through the middle for Tavernier, but Lenny Yoro read the situation and just picked the ball off and sent it forward to Bruno Fernandes. Here on the near side is Cunha, dispossessed this time by Jimenez, who gets the better of him for the first time in the match, really.
Yeah, Jimenez was very pleased with that. He needed that, really. But Fernandes, just watching him sometimes, when they had a break a minute ago, he had a really difficult ball to adjust to, and he got a pass off a bouncing ball into Ahmad's feet, and Ahmad unfortunately had a poor touch, but it just shows the technical quality of the man. Really high-end stuff.
It is. Luke Shaw has put that ball out for a corner on this near side, but he didn't probably need to touch it, but he's a little bit rattled by the presence of Ryan behind him. Manchester United, 53% of the ball so far. They have an XG of 0.72. They've had 11 shots, 4 on target, but it's still 0-0.
Now expected goals, what is it, 0.72?
Yeah.
That means nothing to me, that. The 4 or 5 shots on target does, though.
Would you like me to send you a video about that as well?
Yes, please.
Here it
I've had so many of analysts over the years, you can imagine.
I can imagine.
And they're all a bit like you. It's a sort of a compliment.
It's sort of. Backhanded one.
Yeah.
That's all right, I'll take it. Here's Amin Hadley trying to play the ball down the right-hand side. It's cut out by Fernandes. I think it took a flick off of Hadley last, but that was certainly the version of events that Konstantin Hatzidakis, the assistant on this near touchline, is perpetrating. It's a throw into Manchester United. Steve Holland, and I think that's Jonathan Woodgate having a word with Michael Carrick down in front of us.
Oh yeah, didn't recognise Jonathan now.
Yeah, he's got a little earpiece in, so he's speaking to someone somewhere else as well, up on high. The ball is back in circulation and forward from Senesi, but it's cut out by Casemiro, who gets held off by Christie. The referee says no foul against the Scotsman, who now starts to move the ball forward and slide it up towards the edge of the area, looking for Evan Nilsson. It's a thicket of players diving in for tackles in the middle of the park, and again a foul has been given, this time against Lenny Yoro, and the referee is not listening to any pleas for the defence of Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, Yoro, when he first came into the team, I was a little bit concerned about him. I thought it was too early, didn't look right, and he looked a little bit uneasy. He looked terrific tonight. I mean, you can see he's growing into the shirt here. It'd be great for Man United if they can produce a centre half, to hold that jersey at his age. What is he, 20?
Yeah, 20 years of age. It's his 5th start in a row now. Michael Carrick giving him his head in the last couple of games. Obviously, De Ligt not quite ready yet. Martinez has suffered another injury.
So Yoro's a little bit different to both of those because he has more agility, and I think he's quicker than both probably. So that when you're a Man United centre back, you've got to have that speed at the back, and especially if you're carrying Harry Maguire, who's not particularly fast. So he's a brilliant foil for Harry, because if you get in trouble, he can get you out of it with his pace. It's very important at this level.
Yeah, well, he's certainly well thought of in France, that is for sure. Free kick to be taken in front of the Manchester United wall. Tavernier lining it up. Scott is there too. Bournemouth nil, Manchester United nil. We've played nearly 40 minutes. It's Tavernier who strikes it, left-footed over the wall towards the near corner, and it's stopped by Senna Lomans. He caught that really well. His direction was perfect, but he didn't have enough power to beat Lomans, who reacted quickly, quick feet out towards the near side and caught the ball well.
Well, Coach Sam, you hit that straight on the head, because he made that look easy with his feet. And unlike, was it Vicario who didn't move his feet the other week on that free kick? Was it?
Against Szoboszlai at Anfield.
And that's an example of how a goalie can make it look so much easier just by really moving their feet fast.
Here is Tavernier back into Evan Nilsson to Tavernier again. Ryan moving up towards the edge of the area. He goes on the outside of Luke Shaw. Can he get a cross in? He can. It takes a bobble through the box. It's stopped by Casemiro, who really does know how to fill in the box when his team are dropping back into a defensive shape. But that nous is so important for Manchester United. Ball cleared by Fernandes up towards Mbeumo, and there was a foul there on Casemiro, according to Bruno Fernandes, who is not shy about coming forward and telling the referee that. Tavernier pops it round Maguire, plays it to Evan Nilsson, wants the return, but Manchester United deal with it, and they slalom up the pitch beautifully with a little back heel from Casemiro, a bit of silk from Fernandes, up to Mbeumo, back to Cunha now, who's inside the centre circle. He's got 4 red shirts in front of them. He's trying to bundle his way through all of them. He runs into traffic in the end, and now Bournemouth are on the counter-attack.
Well, he didn't really have an option, Cunha, actually, then to dribble it, so he tried to go for about 3 or 4 of them.
Here is
unlucky, actually.
Adley out to Trufair. Trufair with a chance to cross to try and get Bournemouth on the front foot again. 0-0 the score. It's aimed in towards the middle of the 6-yard box, but it's an easy catch for Senna Lomans.
Yeah, I'm still kind of quite shocked at 42 minutes that we haven't got the goal, but the entertainment is sparkling at times.
It's been actually a seat thing as well, hasn't it? It's been end to end. Both teams have had their attacks, and it remains goalless here on Talk Sport.
I have to say, this is one of the best performances I've seen all year, technically, from the Man United. Some of the little intricate plays and skills to get out of tight situations has been at a really high level, like what we see at PSG this week. Very similar to that kind of level.
Really good against Aston Villa as well, as the ball comes forward with Ryan Christie over on the far side. Skipping away from one challenge is Adley, overran it slightly and then had to stretch to get the cross in, and it's saved at the near post by Senna Lomans.
A little bit of wing play. Darlow was well beaten there. It's just his cross let him down.
Yeah, Manchester United just playing with a little bit more swagger under Michael Carrick, I think. I think it shows what confidence can do for you, doesn't it?
Of course. The victories and the mood at the training ground starts to bring confidence onto the pitch on a Saturday or a Tuesday night or whenever it is. Friday night as this happens.
It is a Friday night, and Manchester United still looking for the breakthrough against Bournemouth, and we've got about 90 seconds before the half-time whistle goes. It's with Bruno Fernandes in the midpoint of the Manchester United half. He tries to get it forward to Ahmed, but it's cut out by Amin Adli. Goes back into Maguire, and then up to Cunha, who helps it on brilliantly, and then a bit of strength from Casemiro. There was a foul there by Scott, but the referee said play on. It's broken from Fernandes to Cunha, who's now coming forward and looking for someone to join the attack and help him out. There isn't anybody getting up there quick enough, so he stops, checks back, gives it to Fernandes. He's got the same problem. There's no one in front of him, and now he lifts it up into the path of Cunha, who gets into the box, tries to bring it down, then sends it wide out towards the right-hand side. He's by the corner flag, turns it round the corner for Ahmad. Ahmad to Fernandes, back towards Ahmad, and then stuck behind by Jimenez in the last minute of the first half for a Manchester United corner.
Jimenez was so fortunate there because he had switched off. Ahmad running behind. He was lucky. Just as he kind of was adjusting his feet, he managed to get a clearance in, otherwise Ahmad was in. Again, some good technical play from Man United, and as you say, what is it? 44 minutes, 54 seconds, last chance maybe.
Last chance possibly for Manchester United to take the lead at half-time. The corners will be taken by Bruno Fernandes. There's only going to be 1 minute of added time, which I think is probably about right, actually, because we've hardly had any stoppages.
No, absolutely.
Here is the corner then. Cunha lurking on the edge of the area, back from the edge of the D. So is Brian Mbeumo. And Fernandes is taking responsibility. Right-footed in towards the near post. It comes out as far as Shaw. Shaw back to Mbeumo. He'll go wide, I think, to Fernandes back into Kobbie Mainoo, who comes running out to help out in the rebuild of the attack. It's clipped towards the far post and Casemiro, but Ryan is up there and he heads it long, and now there's a chance to break here right at the end of the first half. Two Brazilians going together, Cunha and Ryan, who runs out and emerges with the ball on this right touchline, back into Christie now forward, moving into the midpoint of the Manchester United half. This is the last act of this first 45 minutes. Senesi urged to get the ball forward quickly, maybe have a shot. He goes wide to Truffert instead, then back to Tavernier. We played our minute of added time. The Bournemouth fans are a little bit frustrated they haven't got the ball into the box here, and if they don't get it in quickly, he's going to blow the whistle. It's in by Senesi up towards Adley. It comes out to Casemiro. On the edge of the area is Jimenez. Across comes Ahmad. He kicks it out, and it goes eventually out on this near touchline, and that means that it's the end of the first 45 minutes. And what a good first 45 minutes we've had. There's been chances, there's been tempo, and you suspect the game is still saving its biggest scenes for the second half. But Jordan Petrovic has come to the rescue, not once but twice. Senna Lommans has been involved as well. Bournemouth have drawn 14 times in the league this season, more than any other team in the Premier League. Each of their last 4 matches have finished level, so I suppose it's no surprise at the break. But at half-time, it is Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 0. Alan, you said in the first half that you were impressed with both teams in terms of their technical ability and the way that Bournemouth in particular started the match. From your point of view, what has Andoni Iraola got right so far in the game, and how does he press home the advantage that they've got by being at home tonight and utilising this place, which has become a bit of a fortress for them?
Yeah, well, I think, what they've done is they've kept the tempo high, and I think that's important, not to give Man United time to settle. I mean, obviously their confidence is high. The last thing you want to do is let them dwell on it and you're starting enjoying themselves. So they've been in their faces from the start, and they've done a pretty good job of that.
No changes at half-time. Casemiro racing away from halfway with the ball with the white shirt on. He's fed in Burmo down the left-hand side, ball in towards the near post. It was a poor ball, actually, by Brian and Burmo, and it went straight into the arms of Jordan Petrovic. And again, the game has started in the same fashion to which it ended the first, being stretched one end to the other. Adley takes it on, gets down the side of the penalty area. Kobbie Mainoo dives in. It's set back to the edge of the box. Christie with the outside of his left foot tries to curl the ball into the top corner. It goes over the top of the crossbar, but it's unrelenting, the pace of the game once more.
Yeah, we've gone. Yeah, we were just trying to say, explain why Bournemouth have done so well, but there was 2 attacks that went off straight away, which is typical of this game. One at one end and one at the other end. In the end, Bournemouth had attack, and it's Manu who's filling in at right back because Darlow was in the box. So that's, what was he? 1.30 seconds in the game.
Well, it's still 0-0, but I'm not entirely sure that exactly how that is the case. Here is Mbeumo linking with Fernandes. Manchester United shooting from left to right. That was a mistake, which gave the ball away to Ryan over on the far side. Manchester United in white attacking the goal away to our right. It's the black and red stripes of the home team Bournemouth with black shorts attacking the goal. The Steve Fletcher sound away to our left-hand side. I'll run through the 2 11s for you with Manchester United and just doing a bit of defending here. Jordan Petrovic is the Bournemouth goalkeeper. Alex Jimenez, James Hill, Senesi and Truffert are the back 4. Midfield duo of Christie and Scott with Tavernier in the 10, Adley and Ryan in the wing positions, and Evanilson going through the middle. As far as Manchester United are concerned, it's Lommans in goal, made a couple of good saves in the first half. Dalot, Yoro, Maguire and Shaw. Casemiro, who's been booked, and Mainoo. And then Ahmad, Fernandes and Cunha behind Brian Mbeumo in attack. It is still 0-0 on Talk Sport, and United's only win in their last 5 meetings with Bournemouth came back here at the Vitality Stadium in May 2023. Casemiro got the only goal of the game that day. Michael Carrick pleading, suggesting there should have been a throw into Manchester United. Eventually Stuart Atwell and his assistant decided that was the right call. Not sure the Bournemouth fans agree.
I didn't think it was pleading. It was more like a very polite request.
Yes. but for Michael, that's pleading, isn't it?
Yeah, very. I mean, the one thing that I thought about United at half-time, if I was Michael, would have told Mbeumo to stay more central. It's just been out of the zone at crucial times when they've had attacks. He's been on the left-hand side, he's been on the right-hand side. I would keep him more central.
Truefair trying to get through the middle of the Manchester United defence. He gets beyond Euro. Now Maguire comes across, does a good job of blocking that attempted cross pass from Truefair, and Manchester United get out and they play it to the left, and Cunha has to try and take on Jimenez, but Jimenez this time read the pass and just had a little head start on Cunha, and he needed it, and he gobbled up possession and got it back all the way to Jordan Petrovic away to our right hand side. And it's still goalless on TalkSport. It wasn't goalless the last time these two met. 4-4 at Old Trafford in December. 8 different scorers that night, and it remains the highest total of shots on target in any Premier League game this season, and it was arguably the best game of the Premier League season so far. This one's been good, but we haven't had any goals. Here is Christie sending it down the left, looking for Evan Nilsson. He was never going to beat Dalot for pace, and he kind of knew that and gave up the ghost.
Yeah, it was a good pass though. Christie's good at that. You know, he slides those passes down the sides, and as I say, that balance in midfield Bournemouth got was very nice. You know, it's interesting that this game is so nicely poised, isn't it? I mean, you would say that Man United are favourites, but it could easily go Bournemouth's way.
Ryan on the far side, the right as Bournemouth look at it, a left-footed cross into the centre, which is headed away by Harry Maguire, and it goes down over on the far side. Remember, Manchester United usually score in second half of games, and the majority of their goals have come after the break, and we'll see if that pattern repeats itself again tonight. Here is James Hill to take a long throw for Bournemouth, attacking down their right-hand side and away to our left, as the cool night air starts to descend on the Vitality Stadium. It's a jam-packed house, as you would imagine here, for a Friday night game against Manchester United. Ball in towards the near post, flicked on by Senesi, punched away by Senna-Lomans, fired back in by Scott. The ball is loose inside the area, it goes behind eventually for a goal kick, and there was a moment there where there was a Bournemouth player down inside the 6-yard box complaining that maybe he was clattered by a United defender, but it was a good strong punch by the goalkeeper.
You know, it's interesting, do you remember where the long throws really kind of was at their peak with Delap at Stoke? Yeah.
And your advert friend Tony Pulis was in charge of that.
Pulis. Now I asked Tony, you know, not so much when we were playing against each other, we were more in private moments. What did he really want from those throw-ins? And he always said we always wanted the opposition goalie to get involved, to come and get involved in the contact, the first contact, and Lehmans did on the first throw-in that they had down here, and he was lucky because he was completely out of position and it went over his head. That time he stayed out of it.
Here is Ahmad winning the ball for Manchester United on the halfway line, and then gets into the opposition territory, picked up by Fernandes. Lovely ball out to Shaw, who gets into the area, takes a deflection off Ryan as he attempts to cross it, and it goes behind for a Manchester United corner.
Yeah, and you know, that's the other side of the game. Ryan's done really well tonight. There's been times where he hasn't really been in a position to take his fullback on. He's played it simple. He hasn't tried any silly tricks, and he's doing his defensive work. He looks a really, you know, great prospect, that lad.
Here's the corner then, to be taken over on the far side. He's still a young man. He's only 19 years of age. He's a teenage South American import with a big future, and there's quite a few of those in the Premier League at the moment. Here's Cunha, deep ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Euro rises, heads the ball down. No flick off of a Bournemouth shirt, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our right. I'm not sure they made the most of that. The contact wasn't great from Lenny Euro. Could argue actually it was quite good defending by Bournemouth.
Yeah, I actually thought Euro had a great chance there, but he just seemed to kind of get edged out of it. It was a great ball in.
It really was a good ball in. Here is Diogo Dalot, halfway line for Manchester United. With Manchester United in their away record improving under Michael Carrick, you would expect them to be the favourites in this game, but if you speak to anyone of a Manchester United persuasion, they would tell you that actually if they were to come away with a point here tonight, they wouldn't be too dissatisfied with that, I think. And they've only managed 2 wins in the last 7 away matches. That was at Arsenal and at Everton. Their away record's still not great.
It was interesting to see Michael's reaction there, because Euro had a pass where he could have passed it into midfield, into a Michael Carrick, you could argue, right, coming short, and he decides to go back to the goalie, and Michael, you know, crossed his head as if to say, why didn't you give the pass? Because when he was a player, that's what he wanted. Centre midfield to give it to him in tight areas. That's when he was really good. And you can imagine that's the sort of ethos that he's putting into this team.
He's a good, probably a good player, wasn't he, Michael Carrick? That's for sure. Here is Evan Nilsson going away to our left-hand side, looking to try and get beyond Euro. Commits a challenge. The ball goes out. It's away for a throw into Bournemouth. James Hill's not coming across to take this one. It's too far out for him, so it's tossed back to Truefair. The referee's too busy talking to Bruno Fernandes to allow the game to continue, so they'll wait again before taking it. Truefair and Adley deciding who's going to be responsible. It goes back to Truefair. No pressure on him, despite it was obvious that it was going back to him. And it goes all the way back to the halfway line.
Well, I think Ahmad needs to be careful in the second half, because I think he's the obvious sub here. You bring Brian and Mbulo out here on the right and bring Cisco on. That would make a lot of sense.
Truefair moving up to the edge of the area as Bournemouth come on the attack. He slips it further wide to Amin Adley. Adley faces up Diego Dalla, then pops the ball round the corner into Christie. A little back heel. Adley trying to get on the end of it, and Bumo's back there to help out. It comes out to Jimenez. He strikes it, and he doesn't catch it with the kind of accuracy that was required, and it's well wide of the left-hand upright, but that was good football from Bournemouth.
Lovely little moment from Christie, wasn't it? A little back heel in there. And when he came out to Jimenez, I think the crowd made him shoot. I don't think he wanted to, and the shot kind of reflected that. It was like a shot which I don't really fancy myself, and he just passed it wide.
Yes, I'm going to suggest that I don't think that he's a regular goal scorer, Alex Jimenez.
No. In fact, Trafford just got in down this side and didn't have the shot, and I see Aurora really angry, and fullbacks get in those positions, they don't like to pull the trigger.
Here is James Hill on this near side, then on to Adley, then back to Christie. Christie trying to poke it through to Tavernier. Tavernier now releasing the ball into the left wing position for Amin Adley, who just gets too much air underneath the ball. He tried to clip that cross, but he got underneath it and it just skewed off his boot and goes into the stand behind Son Lomans' goal, and it's out for a goal kick. Benjamin Šeško, by the way, scored more goals as a substitute than any other player in the league this season. 4 off the bench so far. Be interesting to see how long before he is unleashed. And I tell you what, wouldn't be too surprised to see Eli Junior Krupi come on for Bournemouth at some stage, another one who has made an impact off the bench this season.
Yeah, it's always, as I said, at the start of this game, that it's always a great tool for a manager to have a player who feels confident to come on late in a game and has that confidence that they're going to get a goal. It's so important when teams get tired and there's more space and you get a little bit more kind of chances to create that chance for a striker, and if they're in form and the confidence is good, they take them.
Well, we came into tonight with 2 teams that are in good form, not great form, good form, but we're still awaiting the breakthrough. A mistake by Maguire, pinched by Evan Nilsson, moved down to the right side by Ryan, in towards Alex Scott. Kobbie Mainoo with a challenge. Ryan then pumps back in and forces the attack, tackled by Casemiro in midfield. Had to be clean and was. He's got it back again, Casemiro. Into Cunha, out wide now for Fernandes. It's shown a bit too much of it to James Hill, but wins the throw-in over on the far side. Oh no, it came off of Fernandes last, did it? And it's out for a throw into the home player, James Hill, who did brilliantly to get across. Oh, that's a bit of a mistake by Jordan Petrovic, and he juggled with the ball in front of Brian Mbumo, who was very close to closing him down there. He didn't want that ball back, and he's complaining about his delivery, but he almost got caught by the Cameroon international.
Yeah, it's shocking pass. I mean, you don't want to get. That's not the sort of pass you want as a goalie. And in the end, he just had to do the best of it.
I'm not entirely sure why it was felt that it was a good ball to give him back, really. Here's Ahmad on this near side. Infield to Casemiro. Cunha's square of him. Went to give him the ball, then declined it because he was being marshalled by Alex Scott. It goes back into the centre circle. Maguire finds Shaw, and Manchester United move down the left-hand side with 58 on the clock. 0-0 the score. Talksport at the Vitality Stadium. Cunha in possession. Crossed into the box. Almost came through to Ahmad. Flicked away by Truefair. And then out on this near side, it's collected by Evan Nilsson. A little roundhouse by him as he tries to turn out of a tight gap. He collects it well, feeds Adley into Tavernier, immediately surrounded by Kobbie Mainoo. And this is excellent from Bournemouth, who piece their way up the field with quick, sharp, intricate passes, and now they release Ryan down the right, in towards Adley, and it comes towards Tavernier in the end, but the offside flag, I think, was up, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, but that was another example of the kind of quick and incisive football that Bournemouth can play.
Yeah, a couple of things happened there. Man United attacked this end. Fernandes hit a great cross in. If Sesko's on the pitch, I think he scores. And that's my point about the striker at the moment. Bournemouth, he wasn't alive enough really to that cross. Bournemouth have broke and done a brilliant passage of play, and I think they've actually been better second half than United at the start of this half.
Shabana Hearn and Tony Cascarino return tomorrow morning. Weekend Sports Breakfast from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. They'll review this game. Here is Cunha down the left hand side, getting into the box. Lovely little wriggle. He throws himself to the floor and gets a penalty kick. It's a yellow card for Jimenez, and it's a penalty kick for Manchester United. The man who's given the second most penalties in the Premier League this season, Stuart Atwell, gives another. I think there was contact. I think it is a penalty, but it was also a dive.
Well, you're right on both occasions. Jimenez has definitely caught him. I can tell he looks so guilty. He's pulled him. He's pulled his shirt.
And he's just made the most of it.
Of course. And he's going to. But Jimenez has he had such a difficult night with Cunha. He's took him on the outside almost every time, and this time he's come on the inside. He's pulled his jersey. He's got no complaints, unfortunately, and he hangs his head in shame because he's obviously disappointed with doing that. But here we are, a chance actually for this game to open up now. And who's going to take it, I wonder?
It will be Bruno Fernandes. Did you really have to ask?
No, I knew. I could see him.
He has collected the ball and is quite happy to take the responsibility, as he always is. Sometimes it takes a moment like this to open up a game as tight as this, but as entertaining as this. We're about to hit the hour mark on Talk Sport, and it is Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 0. And Bruno Fernandes is about to step up to take the penalty kick. He takes a sharp intake of breath. The Manchester United fans on the far side urge him on. The captain taking the responsibility from the spot after Cunha was fouled. He faces Jordan Petrovic. He waits. He eyeballs the Serbian. He steps up, right-footed. He waits and pops it in the corner beautifully. It's an exquisite penalty from an exquisite player. And his super season continues. Manchester United's revival under Michael Carrick continues, and it's Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, I mean, what would you expect from him? He takes a straight run up, has a little dance, hesitates again. The goalie goes down, he puts it in the other corner. You only do that when you're super confident.
And he is, and he always has been. He is the club captain, he is the heartbeat. He recently celebrated his 100th assist for the club during that victory over Aston Villa. It's his 6th goal in the last 17 appearances. He's also chipped in with 14 assists during that period. To suggest that he's anything other than central to Manchester United would be a dereliction of duty.
Yeah, and as we said at the top of the show, one of the outstanding players of the season in a team that has struggled for large parts of it. They're in a great spell now, but the start of the season was very difficult, and yet he was still producing those numbers. It's been terrific for Manchester United.
Manchester United lead by a goal to 0. Bournemouth have got to try and respond to that. I mean, Bournemouth won't be fazed by going behind. They have collected 15 points from losing positions. Only Aston Villa and Sunderland have rescued more. So it's not as if this is an alien concept to them. And they do have weapons that they can unleash from the bench. Bournemouth haven't beaten United at home since a 1-0 win under Eddie Howe in 2019.
But he also said Areola hasn't lost to Man United, is that correct?
He hasn't, yeah. He's got 2 wins at Manchester United and 3 draws up until this point. 2-1 to Preston in the TalkSport 2 game over on TalkSport 2. And that's just happened in the last few moments. Osmajic with the goal which has put Preston in front on TalkSport 2. And TalkSport 2's got a lot of EFL action this weekend as well. If you'd like to download the app, you can flick through the schedules and find out everything that you need to know ahead of what is a huge weekend in the EFL and in the Premier League, where we've got another referee commentaries to come. It's one of those big weekends for us here on TalkSport. We've got Saturday morning Brighton against Liverpool, Saturday night Leeds against Brentford, and then Sunday the Time Weir derby. Here is Ahmad, didn't even mention the Carabao Cup final. Casemiro into the centre, headed by Cunha, who had a little push on the back of Jimenez, and the free kick is given by Stuart Atwell.
Fernandes has just pinged the ball 65 yards across the pitch there, right on the number, and Ahmad's just chested it so beautifully. It's a lovely couple of moments, and it just sort of highlights the technical level United are at.
Yeah. And they've got the ball back again. Casemiro's playing brilliantly, by the way, in the middle of the park, just pinching the ball, stopping attacks from building for Bournemouth, spreading it around neatly, and he's fed Ahmad here into Bruno, and then out to this right-hand side once again. It's collected by Dalot. And you can hear the Manchester United fans actually singing Casemiro's song over on the far side. Such is their appreciation of him as Cunha gets on the end of a pass, tries to send a cross into the centre after being fed by Kobbie Mainoo. It's blocked by Jimenez this time and goes out for a corner over on the far side. Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 1. Live on TalkSport tonight with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Bournemouth versus Manchester United live right now. Search Now Sports.
I mean, if it was a boxing match, down that right-hand side, Jimenez and Cunha, you'd think about stopping it. It's like he's giving him such a torrid time. Unfortunately for Jimenez, he managed to get a toe in, and he was almost despondent with that. It was anyway, corner to United.
Hence why Adam Smith has now come out to warm up away to our left-hand side as the corner comes in from Fernandes. It's a short one, reset, given back to Fernandes, who finds Cunha, steps over it, and then it's on to Shaw, and Mbeumo round the corner, looking for maybe someone to come in at the far post, but it's headed by Tavernier, and it's grabbed by the goalkeeper, who is, what was suggested, maybe behind his line. The referee didn't give the corner kick. It's thrown out by Petrovic, and Bournemouth come up the field. Truffert down the left, handball claimed against Mbeumo, but the referee just says play on, and we've got 25 minutes before the end of the game. It's Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 1. Ali McCoist and Ray Parlour back together on breakfast on Monday morning from 6 o'clock. Who's your favourite Arsenal pundit, by the way?
Arsenal pundit? What do you mean?
You must have a favourite Arsenal pundit. They're everywhere at the moment. There must be one you like.
Well, they don't like me at the moment. That's another thing. But Alan Smith is someone I like.
Great, very good, Alan Smith. What about Emmanuel Petit? Have you heard him recently?
Yeah, I like. Yes, I do like Emmanuel Petit.
Well, he's back on breakfast on Monday morning from 6 a.m. as well.
Okay.
Well worth a listen. He's great fun. We had him on the 10 to 1 show a couple of months ago.
Pretty cool dude too.
He really is, by the way.
Yeah.
And he loves life.
Yeah.
And we like him a lot. Emmanuel Petit back on breakfast 6 o'clock. You can watch the show on your smart TV and the TalkSport YouTube channel as well, so there's no excuse to miss breakfast tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. and Monday morning from the same time. 3-1 to Preston now on TalkSport 2. Here is Mainoo as it breaks down once again. Oh, lovely ball over the top by Fernandes to release Ahmad to the edge of the area. He's got Mbeumo in the centre, and Cunha wants it as well. Oh, he's brought down by Truffert. It's going to be another penalty, is it? The referee said no, and play on. The VAR might look at that. Stuart Atwell.
I don't think he did say no. I think he said yes initially, and then pulled his whistle away. It's quite bizarre.
Well, that is interesting, because it looked as if he was going to give a penalty, didn't it? And then didn't. And I wonder if the VAR is going to have a word with him here. Truffert at the other end, who committed the alleged foul, plays the ball into Christie. Christie tries to shoot into the corner and scores. And this is going to be interesting. Christie walks away in celebration. Manchester United think they should have had a penalty at the other end. The referee declined it. The VAR was looking at it. And if it is decided that this goal doesn't count and the VAR overturns it and gives a penalty, it's going to be a massively controversial moment. What it was a brilliant finish from Christie after good work from Truffert, but he was involved in an incident at one end, at the other end of the pitch, and then at the very other he set up Christie for the equalising goal. So which way is he going to go, Alan Pardew?
Well, I think if he gives the penalty, when it looked like he was going to give the penalty, he would be given, because there's enough in it to suggest it was a penalty. But it's one of those now, will VAR overturn it? I think it is going to go up there. Are we on VAR, Sam? I think we are we? I haven't seen the sign go up.
We have no communication from the VAR to tell us that he is looking at it, but the way that the referee is standing, I believe that he is in consultation I would imagine that is not enough to overturn.
Well, let's go to the other end then, because the finish is absolutely sublime. From a really class player. I love Christie. I think he's got some magic in his feet. And that was a great finish. Great work by Truffert to take it up the pitch. They involved it. It got to him in the box. He's just manoeuvred it and just passed it so neatly into the corner. Fantastic goal.
The referee has given the goal. So the penalty has been declined. The goal stands. It's 1-1, Alan.
Yeah. But I genuinely think if he'd have done his original way he was going to do, which was give the penalty, I think that would have stood. I think VAR would have stood that up.
Whatever decision he made there was not going to be overturned by the VAR because it wasn't clear and obviously wrong.
Correct.
And Manchester United will claim that they were undone by the decision going against them, and that's why that they were in a bit of a pickle at the other end because their player was still down. The ball loose now inside the box for Bournemouth to bring down. It comes to Dallo, who's trying to juggle with it. It's cleared away by Alex Scott and up to the halfway line. Well, we've got a decent finish on our hands here. A good tackle by Casemiro, who won the ball and then lost by Kobbie Mainoo and picked up by Adley. Emma Nilsson waiting in the centre, and at the back post Ryan. It's in by Adley to the near post. It smashes off the legs of Harry Maguire and then cleared away into midfield where Dallo swings the ball out to the far side beautifully, chested down by Cunha, who's in another duel with Jimenez. He's cleared it but only as far as Fernandez, who picks it up. It's a stretched game now, so wide and so open. Here is Cunha moving up towards the edge of the area, tries to take on Jimenez for another time. He puts it behind the way for another corner for Manchester United at 1-1.
Great game. He's swinging from one end to the other. Some outstanding individual play. But again, you know, it's going to be tough to call this game. Bournemouth had a great opportunity there. They were 4v3, took the wrong option. Unfortunately, with the cross, it took too long, and Man United managed to clear it. We now have a corner the other end.
And Bumo is coming off and Šeško is coming on. That's the first change that is going to be made by Manchester United tonight. And remember, he has been so prolific off the bench. Johnny Evans just tapping him on the back and introducing him to the play, and Bumo taking his time to come off. It'll be interesting to see if he can make an instant impact here. Benjamin Šeško, who so far this season has popped in with more than enough goals off the bench, 4 of them so far. And on he comes, tall and lean, but with big, broad shoulders and ready to try and challenge this Bournemouth backline, which have been vulnerable from set pieces this season. He has a quick word with Kobbie Mainoo and then gets a cuddle off of it's Amin Adli, who's got him. It's Marcus Tavernier who's got him round the waist here as he attempts to get on the end of this corner. It's aimed towards the near post and it's flicked off the defender and in. Harry Maguire gets the final touch. Manchester United are back in front. There was all sorts of holding and grappling going on inside the penalty area. Senesi went up to meet the first header, flicked it onto the head of Maguire, who guided it home, and it's 2-1 to Manchester United.
Yeah, Harry Maguire, the man in the news today, isn't he? Back in the England squad. I couldn't quite see in normal time there, I'm looking for the replay, how he got on the end of it. There was such a kerfuffle in there. 3 or 4 bodies. Šeško, certainly the substitution made a difference because he caused a bit of havoc in there. And as it's come in, yeah, Harry's just stood his ground, been stronger than anybody else and guided it into the far post.
Oh, I think it might put off James Hill last.
Okay.
I think it might be an own goal, this. Yeah, it hits the side of the face. It goes past Harry Maguire's face.
Well, Harry, what a great acting role. Because he's gone charging to the fans as if he's scored. He's fooled us all. Harry, I'm coming for you. Own goal.
It's definitely an own goal. Fernandez's penalty and Hill's own goal. And another change. And off comes Jimenez. And on comes Smith. David Brooks comes on for Adley, and Krupi is about to come on as well. So 3 changes for Bournemouth, who have made
I mean, how many years is going to need
switches?
He's going to need a couple of paracetamol because he must be so dizzy out there.
Poor old Jimenez.
I mean,
I think it might be an ibuprofen job. I don't think paracetamol's going to cut it.
Okay, you would know, wouldn't you? This is the sort of stuff that you're an expert in. I would never challenge you on something like that.
What, hangovers?
Right, well, the correct medical ingredients needed.
Here comes Ryan Christie's off for Krupi. That's going to be the other change. It's a bit of a shame because we like watching Ryan Christie. I think that both of us are quite big
probably
fans.
his fitness levels more than anything, is it? Because he's played terrific tonight.
So Brooks on, Smith on, Krupi on, Adley off, Christie off, Jimenez off. As they respond to Manchester United going 2-1 in front here on TalkSport.
I think the referee's nicely relieved as well, you know. I should think, if you know what I mean.
Because it takes away that controversial moment.
Correct.
Or maybe doesn't take it away, but it certainly lessens its importance.
It solves it, yeah.
Well, Adam Smith takes the captain's armband. He's been a great servant for this football club. I remember speaking to him actually during lockdown as well. Does a lot for the community too. Here is Brooks down the left-hand side of the Bournemouth attack. Senesi gets it back after hitting it against Ahmad, feeds it into the box. Dallo, then it comes back to Senesi, who strikes it as it was rising up on the volley, kicking off the ground. It goes behind and away for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's good effort by the centre-back. He flicks it forward, it comes back to him and he hits it first time, just gets under it slightly and it goes above the bar.
Well, Manchester United leading again by 2-1 live on TalkSport tonight. And the latest odds are available at Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Bournemouth to win at 18-1. The Manchester United victory is 9-2 now. The draw is 4-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+, begambleaware.org. And Chris Evans will be back on Monday morning as well to bring you the breakfast show on Virgin Radio. And remember, all the best bits are available on TFI Unplugged. At the end of the week, he's been talking to James Corden this week, James Norton, the actor, live music as well. There's so much on the Virgin Radio YouTube channel, and TFI Unplugged, I must admit, is a great watch. There was a particular episode I like when they spoke to the geezer from Ocean Colour Scene about how they came up with the theme tune in the first place to TFI Friday, which was great.
Geezer, did you say?
Geezer.
Geezer, he was a geezer.
He was a geezer. Yeah, definitely. He's a proper geezer. Actually, I don't know whether it's a proper geezer or not. He might quite like a oat latte and leafing through the Guardian, for all I know. Not that that doesn't make you a proper geezer.
You got yourself on hire, haven't you? I'll leave you to get out of it.
Actually, that sounds like what we do on a Monday morning there, Alan. That sounded quite attractive. Here is Scott with an effort, hitting the crossbar from 25 yards out. With a rasping effort, he caught it so beautifully. He hit it right-footed, got underneath it. It hit the corner of crossbar and post. And I wonder whether or not Senna Lomans got across enough to get a little touch on that. Well, he didn't. He came off the crossbar, back down, and he hit it at the second attempt.
You know, he's been brilliant tonight, Scott. He's been sitting in front of the back four, done a great job, got himself forward there. Fantastic strike, hit the bar.
Here is a corner over on the far side, drifted under the goalkeeper who collects it and will clear it. And I wonder if Alex Scott, slightly motivated by the fact that he wasn't in that England squad today, has upped his output levels. That was such a great strike. He curled that so beautifully to the far post, and it definitely came off the crossbar, came back, hit Lomans and went behind. In some circumstances, that hits the back of the goalkeeper and goes in.
Yeah, that's true. He's got lucky, he's hitting in the small of the back, and it's taken all the pace off the ball and gone out for a corner.
2-1 to Manchester United with 14 minutes to play. Live on TalkSport tonight here at the Vitality Stadium. It's been a good performance from Manchester United. It hasn't been bad from Bournemouth, who are looking to try and get back in the game late on. It's on to Ryan down the right-hand side. He escapes to the edge of the area. He cuts in on his left foot. He drives a shot goalwards. It's blocked by Luke Shaw, and it's cleared away. He's just one of the examples of a cracking recruitment policy here at Bournemouth. Iraola, with the help of Thiago Pinto, who's the head of the club's recruitment, and aided by Simon Francis, have assembled a super cast. 10 unbeaten before tonight. Can they keep that unbeaten run going with yet another draw? Can they claw their way back in? Here's Krupi with a shot from distance, blocked by Kobbie Mainoo, worked out to the left-hand side, collected by Bruno Fernandes, who's dragging his team up the pitch here. He needs an out ball, didn't quite have one, and then Šeško a little bit on his heels as Casemiro lefts it in. Now the referee's call of no penalty in that incident with Ahmad was for a challenge by Truefair. It was checked and confirmed by VAR with it deemed not sufficient contact for a foul. Here's Evan Nielsen inside the penalty area. Harry Maguire has given sufficient contact for the foul. He's brought down Evan Nielsen, given away a penalty, and he's been sent off. He's been sent off for the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity with no attempt to play the ball. Under the letter of the law, it's a red card.
Well, Harry's having words with the linesman. He's absolutely furious. There was a great passage of play by Bournemouth. They've kept the tempo high, even though they've gone behind. Tried to push to get the equaliser. They've created a moment here. We haven't seen the replay yet, but it looked like the ball got slipped in behind Harry, and in his desperation has made a bit of a lunge. But I'd like to see it again so we can clarify that. He's adamant that he shouldn't be sent off, that's for sure.
Well, he pulled the jersey. That was the reason the penalty was given. And if that is the case, and the next action was going to be a shot on goal, that is the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity under the law, and he will be sent off. But if there wasn't sufficient holding, then the VAR will overturn it. Let's have a look.
It looks like a penalty, doesn't it?
Is that enough to pull him down? Is it soft?
I think, to be fair, the striker's gone down easily, but both hands have come across him. I think it's a foul. I think it's a penalty for me.
Yeah, it's a decision, penalty, foul, Maguire, red card, off. Manchester United down to 10 players, and that sending off of Harry Maguire is going to only ramp up the atmosphere here. On the day he's recalled back to the England squad, Harry Maguire has given away a penalty and he has been red carded. Yeah. So, Krupi off the bench to try and put Bournemouth level. He places the ball on the spot. It's 2-1 with 10 minutes to play to Manchester United. Already Bournemouth have dragged themselves back level. Can they do it for a second time on the night?
I think Harry Maguire might have got himself in trouble again there. As he's coming off.
Well,
come back to that.
We'll come back to it in a second because Krupi steps up, right-footed. The goalkeeper stands strong, goes the wrong way. Krupi slams it into the net. It's 2-2, and another blockbuster night in Bournemouth continues. Another goal fest between these two. There was 8 at Old Trafford. We've had 4 tonight. It's Bournemouth 2, Manchester United 2, and the entertainment's not over yet.
No, and you know, I have to hand it to Bournemouth. I think they've been absolutely terrific against a really confident, technically great Man United team. This is a really good Man United side tonight that we've seen. But Bournemouth have been excellent. They've never given up. They've kept going. He's made changes. He's put offensive players on, and they've got themselves back in the game. Just going back to Harry, when he come off, he had an altercation with the fourth official where he looked like he got too involved with him, and I see him go for the notebook. So there might be further consequences there for Harry.
Matthew Donoghue is the fourth official. Another change here. Ugarte and Heaven come on. Manchester United clearly now going to try and shut down the game. 9 minutes to go. And Heaven going in alongside Yoro. Casemiro coming off and Ugarte coming on. Cunha coming off to vacate the pitch so there's space for Heaven to get into the back line. And Manchester United fans have got a bit of a problem with the fact that whenever Ugarte comes onto the pitch, the tie usually turns in the opponent's favour.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Michael's had to make changes and bring a centre back on, so now they're back in the same shape. They just changed his name, so that's... I'm surprised Casemiro's gone off at this stage, if I'm honest.
Well, I suppose because he's on a booking and because it's going to get a little bit stretched now, I wonder whether or not he's just protecting himself to make sure he doesn't end up going down the line.
I forgot about the booking,
But Harry Maguire has been sent off. They're down to 10 players going into the final 8 minutes of the match. 2-2 to score. Remember, Bournemouth have drawn each of their last 4 matches. Krupi, the breakout star of the season, has scored again. Here's Brooks at the other end as Bournemouth come forward in search of a winner. It's picked up by Brooks, slipped down the inside left channel. That's going to go straight out of play.
Yeah, Krupi looks so sharp. He done a marvellous moment here. He's plucked it out of the sky to set up another attack, and then he made another burst into the box, and unfortunately the pass wasn't good enough. But he looks double lively. Very good.
Here is Senna Lomans to take the goal kick away to our left-hand side. It is Bournemouth 2, Manchester United 2. Going to be a fascinating last 7 minutes, this, Alan, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to call it because because now obviously Man United down to 10 men, but they've got great players still on the pitch to try and put the winner, and Bournemouth to push. And I suspect where Bournemouth are in the league that they'll push right to the end. So I think we're going to have a great ending.
Sesko go through the middle, almost go on the end of that long ball up the pitch by Senna Lomans. It's collected by Senesi and cleared away on this near side. Senesi strides forward. He's got Scott to his right-hand side. Whatever happens tonight, Champions League chase was on when Carrick walked through the door, but it was a chase. They were 11 points off third place. Now they are in third with a healthy buffer, and the bookmakers' favourites to finish in the top 5.
So Michael's gone to a normal setup, I think, when you got down to 10 men. They're 4-4-1 with Fernandes playing that left side of the pitch and Ahmed playing the right side.
It's a sensible thing to do, isn't it? You've got to leave someone as the out ball.
Yeah.
You don't want to invite too much pressure late on in the game. Ball collected by Tavernier up to Scott. Scott plays it wide to Truefair. Truefair infield to Tavernier again, and then back out to this left-hand side where it's collected by Senesi. Senesi into Eli Junior Krupi, who plays the ball through the centre circle up to Hill. Good reverse pass into the penalty area. Van Nielsen is chasing. There was a bump on Ryan there, and the ball goes into the arms of Senna Lomans. Manchester United trying to stay concentrated. They want to continue the good feelings they've got under Michael Carrick. I wonder if there'll be a bit of controversy about that sending off, because there was only the slightest, the nearest of touches. It wasn't sustained holding, enough maybe to pull him down, but we've seen other incidents at other junctures where you might say even the Ahmad penalty that wasn't given at the other end was of a similar sort of threshold level.
It somewhat pains me to argue about penalties with you, because you know what you're like.
Here's Evan Nelson inside the penalty area, bringing the ball down, and before he can get his shot away, it's pinched off, he's told, by Ugarte up towards the halfway line. Sesko through the middle. Fernandes picks it up, plays it back out to Ugarte down the left-hand side. He drags them up the pitch, keeps hold of the ball well, then backheels it into the path of Bruno Fernandes, who tries to take on the captain Adam Smith. Smith gets hold of it and then tries to keep Bournemouth on the front foot and in possession. 4 minutes to go before the end. Here is Scott picking it up and sending it forward out towards the left-hand side, where it's collected by Brooks. Brooks up towards the edge of the penalty area, encouraged to shoot. He does that, but he hits the first man in Dallo, and it's cleared away. Ben Gannon-Doak is about to come on this near side for Bournemouth. Dallo skipping it down the left. It's going to be returned by Senesi, and then Krupi getting involved. There's going to be a foul. There's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. Go on, talk to me about the penalties. Go on, explain the difference between the two, because the listeners will, and I'm sure the Manchester United fans will be perturbed by it.
Absolutely. What I would say about Harris is he moves both arms across him. He kind of pulls and then he brings his other arm across, and I think it looks untidy and it looks ugly. And I think for that reason, I think it is a penalty. Whether he's held him enough is conjecture. I don't know how long you've got to hold someone, but he was definitely holding him. It's not like 1 second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds, it's somewhere in there. But for me, it was enough. On the other hand, I do think Man United should have had a penalty before they scored the equaliser.
I think it's a similar level of holding for both of them, and I think, if you give one, you've got to give the other. And the problem is...
I just said, I think that the Man United one was a penalty.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I think the problem here is, and this is where the inconsistency comes, if both penalties are given on field, they stay given on field. If both penalties are not given on field, then they stay not given. Does that make sense? They're not going to be overturned by the VAR. So the fact that the referee has made the decision to not give that one but give that one means that there is inconsistency, because they're both of a similar level, aren't they?
I understand your point.
That's why the Man United fans would be furious, I think. Here is Tavernier, and you know when we said that the referee would be happy about the goal because the controversy would be tamped down. I don't think it is.
He's underlined it again.
2.5 to go before the end of the game. 2-2 the score. It's collected by Senesi and sent down the left. Evan Nielsen chasing it. He runs towards the corner flag, gives it back to Brooks. Brooks now tries to travel infield. Back to Scott and then on to Trufair. Trufair down the left. And then he plays it into... Trufair was the guy who was involved with Ahmad. And the penalty wasn't given at one end when it looked for all the world as if Stuart Atwell was going to blow his whistle. Ben Gannon-Doak down the outside trying to take on Luke Shaw. Tries to get away from Shaw. Shaw too wily. Manages to get something on it. Back from Šeško to Ugarte and then out to Bruno Fernandes into Šeško and then Kobbie Mainoo down in the left full-back position needs some help. They need to get it away here. They're being pressed relentlessly by this energetic Bournemouth team. They need to find a way out. Šeško holds on to it, plays it back to Mainoo. There's nowhere to go. Manchester United is still in that left quadrant over on the far side. They try to get it up to Fernandes, but it's won by Hill. He moves the ball into Scott. Scott runs up to the edge of the D, plays it wide to the left now. It's taken on by Trufair. Sends across towards the far post. Ben Gannon-Doak back across the 6-yard area away by Aidan Heaven and headed out towards the far side, and Manchester United breathe a little sigh of relief. It goes out for a throw into them after Adam Smith was being chased by Fernandes. But what a brilliant end to the game we've got here. 2-2.
Yeah, and they're managing this game really, really well, Bournemouth. They're not kind of rushing things, they're probing, they're taking their time. Scott in particular has been terrific in kind of just marshalling things, and they've created a couple of opportunities. You'd have to say, there isn't long left, but Bournemouth definitely are in the more likely position to go on and win this.
Well, down to 10 players, Manchester United, after Harry Maguire was sent off for the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. But Ahmad is racing down this right-hand side, putting Trufair under pressure. And the ball is collected by the Frenchman, and he runs over the halfway line, finds Krupi. Krupi under pressure, plays a lovely reverse ball into Tavernier. He plays it further wide onto the left. Brooks with the ball into the near post is caught by Senna Lommans, and it's easily cleared away. Now the PGMO have said the referee's call of penalty and red card for Maguire for the denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity was checked and confirmed by VAR, with it deemed to be a holding offence and no attempt to challenge for the ball, as we said to you during the commentary.
9 minutes. Where's he got that from? He must love it down on the south coast, this referee. He's getting controversy, he's enjoying himself. He wanted another 9 minutes.
He's enjoying the limelight, isn't he?
Yeah.
Forget the Oscars, he wants the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
We had the sending off. I can't remember an injury or any kind of long-term. Maybe the penalties where it took so long. I don't know.
But 9. That's extreme, isn't it? He knows I've got to get a whip switch. Here is Krupi with a little back heel into the centre. Brooks doesn't get on the end of it. Lenny Yoro takes it out of defence. It gives it back to his goalkeeper in a dangerous zone, and Senna Lommans reacts to that brilliantly, and it's cleared away by Manchester United. They've got 9 minutes of pressure to deal with now. Tavernier down the left-hand side. Deep ball to the far post. Lommans comes out, gobbles the ball up, and he will clear it away. This is Talk Sport. We're live at the Vitality Stadium going into stoppage time. It's 2-2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Remember, after we're done here, Adam Catterall, Carlton Cole, open up the sports pod with your chance to have yourself national radio. You'll be able to hear the live reaction from the tunnel as well after the game. 0371722 33 44. That is the number to call. We might have a grandstand finish as well between now and then.
Yeah, and just looking at Yara and Heaven together, they don't look particularly comfortable to me. Both young players trying to sort of guide themselves through this 10, with the 10-man disadvantage that they have.
Kobbie Mainoo just trying to drag his team up the pitch. He's fouled in the middle of the park, wins a free kick. 19 years of age, Aidan Heaven. He actually has done well whenever he's come in, I think. And he's alongside now Lenny Yoro, 20 years of age. The two of them have got the job of anchoring that Manchester United defence for the final few minutes. A yellow card there for Adam Smith for his challenge on Kobbie Mainoo. And we have a free kick to Manchester United just short of the halfway line. We've played nearly 2.5 of the 9 minutes that have added at the end of the game.
I watched Michael's reaction to the 9 minutes. He actually shrugged a little bit.
Which to anybody else, can you imagine if that was Arteta? The equal action from Arteta would be to have gone mad for about 2 minutes. Here is Shaw down the left-hand side. Low ball into the near post. It's blocked. And it goes down the way for a throw. Pep too. I'm sure he would have been quite animated about it. Well, I think the story was told by the fact that both of us looked at each other and at the same time went, 9 minutes? I think that shows you that we were both quite shocked by it. Manchester United about to drop points on the South Coast, but I think a point here tonight now in this grand scheme of things will probably be a welcome point. Here is Fernandes trying to link to Shaw, but he tried to play a no-look pass and Shaw had stayed where he was, and Fernandes had thought he'd travelled further down the touchline. They throw the ball in Bournemouth. They want to get it up the field. They slide it from Tavernier into Evan Nielsen, who's just short of the halfway line. They come forward to the left. 93.5 minutes played on TalkSport. 2-2 going into stoppage time, of which there are supposed to be 9 minutes. Scott comes forward. Out to the left and Trufair. Trufair with a chance to cross. Into the box. Evan Nielsen hangs into the air and he heads the ball towards goal, but it goes behind out for a goal kick. And Senna Lomans will definitely not take... will do everything but take any urgency with this goal kick. He'll bounce the ball and he'll change the side. He'll go from the left side to the right and he'll try and use up as many precious seconds as he possibly can.
Absolutely. But Sesko needs to get around Scott, because Scott is just sitting in front of the back four there and orchestrating things for Bournemouth. And Sesko doesn't need to stay at the top of the pitch when they're out of possession. He needs to get on him and get around him.
Here is Trufair as the goal kick goes upfield, flicked on by Sesko, but comes back very quickly from Bournemouth. Dallow intervenes before they can work it to Brooks. Heaven into Ugarte. And then Dallow forward up towards Sesko, who leans in and elbows Senesi in the chest. And he's going to get himself a yellow card here, Sesko.
He's been outstanding, by the way. You know, he's great centre-half. I really like him, and he's been terrific tonight. Sesko's given a right-hander there.
Yes, and I think that we'll find that Marcos Senesi ends up somewhere else at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Here is Smith down the right-hand side, hugging the touchline, onto Ben Gannon-Doak, who plays it square to James Tavernier. And Bruno Fernandes thought he was fouled over on the far side. The referee eventually, after an appeal from Fernandes and conversation with the assistant, gives the free kick in Manchester United's favour.
Mason Mount coming on the pitch at 95 minutes.
Yes.
16 seconds.
Yes, Mount on for Ahmad, just to waste some precious seconds. Another Englishman that wasn't in the 35 today, although he's just coming back from injury. He's probably a little bit too far away from the squad now, I think, after what has been a very difficult couple of years for Mason Mount, which is a shame really, bearing in mind that he was involved in the last World Cup for England.
Yeah, great talent, great talent. He'll come again, I'm sure of that.
Wearing number 7 for Manchester United, he trots on the pitch to try and help them in the final few moments of the game. What he's brilliant at, Mason, is that he will work incredibly hard for the team, especially in these circumstances. He's got great technical quality, but he'll work really hard for the team as well. Here is Luke Shaw, fouled over on the far side, free kick to Manchester United. We're in the 97th minute. The 9 that have been added on, and there will be a few more because Manchester United have done very well at killing the tempo of the game in this stoppage time. Alan Pardew.
Yeah, done all the little tricks that you need to do and master when you're down to 10 men. Still got a chance here though.
A ball flicked in towards the edge of the area. Mount keeps it alive after the initial clearance. He stumbles but keeps hold of possession over on the far side. He's being marshalled by Tavernier. He tries to turn away from him. A little flick finds its way to Fernandes. Fernandes with a chance to shoot from distance. It hits Alex Scott in the face. It's then cleared away by Bournemouth. They're going to stop the game to check on his prognosis. He's got it full in the face and the referee has stopped the game. He looks a little bit groggy actually.
Yeah, he definitely went down in a way that suggests that it's affected him a little bit.
There's a further delay.
Bang to the head.
Andoni Iraola and his team. Bournemouth 2, Manchester United 2 in stoppage time on TalkSport. Alex Scott just getting a little bit of treatment. He'll have to come off the pitch now as a result of having treatment, so that means that they will play out a couple of seconds with just 10. Michael Carrick looking on, just a little bit quizzical. As Alan said, he doesn't really give away too much, Michael Carrick, but when the 9 minutes went up, he did raise an eyebrow, which...
he reminds me of Ancelotti a little bit when he's on the sideline. He'll raise an eyebrow on the odd occasion.
And that's about it.
And that's about all you get. But it doesn't matter, as long as, the team are functioning and doing the business. You haven't got to be doing all the theatricals on the side. He's very calm and precise in what he does. They've done a great job tonight, Man United. In some ways, you could look at this game and suggest that they should have won it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being theatrical either, actually. Whatever helps.
It's whatever your personality is.
Absolutely.
Never be someone else if you're going to be a football manager or a coach on the sideline. Be who you are. I was slightly lively.
Yeah, you occasionally got animated, not very often. You were very controlled, I always thought. In command of your own movements, as we saw in the cup final, if I remember rightly. 99 minutes now on the clock. Bournemouth are about to equal their club Premier League record of 11 without defeat. Just 4 wins in 23 in all competitions for Andoni Iraola, but it's 11 without defeat, and it's 5 draws in a row for them. Manchester United just dropping points in the race to finish in the top 5, but they've got a healthy position in that department. And remember, Chelsea not playing this week, playing Everton this weekend, and
that's a bad foul to give there. Ugarte, I think that was.
Yeah, it was. Ugarte just came across and dangled a leg when there was not really anything happening.
They had nowhere to go, and now you've got a defender set play in the very last minute of the game.
Well, it might be the last minute of the game. It might not be, because we've been playing quite an extended period. Adam Catterall and Carlton Cole on the way very shortly. 03717223344. Manchester United going to escape here with a point, or are Bournemouth going to win the game in the final few seconds of it? Alex Scott to take the free kick from this near side. Brooks standing over it as well. There is almost everybody inside that penalty area. It's touched to Scott, who travels towards the edge of the box. They don't put it straight in. Scott travels to the edge, releases Ben Gannon-Doak, and it was a little bit behind him, goes back to the far side. Senesi holds it up towards the far post, down by Fernandes, poked away by Ugarte, who puts it out for a corner in the final few seconds of the game. Well, this might be the last action that we bring you on TalkSport tonight. Will it be a defining action for Bournemouth? Twice they have fought back from behind against Manchester United, who took the lead through Bruno Fernandes, re-established it after an own goal from a set piece, and now find themselves at 2-2 and down to 10 players. They don't have their commanding centre-back Harry Maguire to get them out of a hole here. So it's going to be a corner kick from Scott in towards the near post. Lenny Yoro with the fending away after a poor delivery from Scott, really, and he's not going to get the second chance to do it. That's the end of the game. It is all over, and it's finished all square in a season where both clubs are measuring themselves against different targets. A point probably tells you a bit of the story, but definitely not all of it. Bournemouth once again showing their stubborn evolution into a mid-table side against a Manchester United team that are certainly chasing Champions League nights. Bournemouth extend the longest unbeaten run in the division to 11 games. United keep their sequence of just 3 defeats in 25 league matches and stay firmly in the race for the top 5. But it only tells you just a small portion of what happened here tonight, because we had 2 penalties and a sending off for Harry Maguire. Both will be hotly contested, because at one end it felt as if Ahmed should have had a penalty that wasn't given, and then at the other end a highly controversial one was given and not overturned. For Carrick and United, the chase for the Champions League goes on. For Bournemouth, the question of what next still lingers, but it's finished. Bournemouth 2, Manchester United 2.